Uh, Hello everyone. It's a beautiful day here in Australia. Today I have a premiere. But I just wanna sit here at the moment and and just share with you. Just share with you like I do every single day, and I don't know, and just let everything flow off my head, because I just don't want to think about necessarily a topic this morning, and just go with the flow as I often do here on my channel, and how I can feel sometimes, you know, that I share every day, that I can advise you to. Doing this has been such an amazing thing for me, and committing myself to uploading Monday through Friday almost every day of the week except for 2 days, and doing it even if I don't really want to do it, or I find myself actually wanting to do it because I enjoy so much to share, and there's some kind of payoff. You know, there's a payoff for everything that we do, and I don't know, that all is so subjective to oneself. Why you're motivated to do certain things, and why you do certain things. I don't know. And sometimes I just feel like I feel like, I don't know, like right now my mind is going blank because I have the camera on and I'm just letting myself talk, and your mind, I think I could probably just share like that your mind and your thoughts bubble up, and you relate to your thoughts or not relate to your thoughts. And recently, like, I've just felt, and this feels like I say this often all the time, because this is part of a kind of a therapeutic thing that I go through as I turn on the camera about what do I say. And I have this relationship constantly with my videos and with my existence, basically. Like everywhere I go, I travel around the world, as you know, and I have this wonderful life, that I think I have a wonderful life, an amazing life, that I come into contact with so many people in my profession, and I'm doing and living my dream, and I feel really good about that, and about sharing myself and feeling very vulnerable. But lately I just, you know, and often, like, I never know who I meet who sees my videos, and when there's a new subscriber to my YouTube channel, or a subscriber that takes himself away from my YouTube channel, which I don't have. I'm a very, very small YouTuber. I have like 109 to date subscribers, and I've been here for about a year, and I don't fish, you know, I'm not fishing. And like right now I feel like perhaps I'm scattered, because I really don't know what I'm gonna say, and I just turn this on and just speak. So when I meet people, like yesterday I taught a new whole group of people here in Australia, and like there's some new friend requests on Facebook, which I upload my videos from time to time on Facebook, not every day, because I leave that to my YouTube channel. And there's this constant like relationship to doing my videos, and I really like that. Like fundamentally, or like predominantly, I really like the sharing with myself, and how much I learn about myself, basically, by turning on the camera and being very open and honest as much as I can, and feeling just the feelings that arise and fall in me, and feel like I don't have to be this or that, or try to impress, or you know, the feelings that I have, or like, you know, as I observe, because I am in a state of my life where I observe myself, and I'm observing myself from outside, and I'm looking at myself on however I relate to just myself, and being able to not respond automatically to a situation or circumstance, because I just want like absolute freedom in my life, as you know that. And I sound like a broken record by saying that, because ultimately it's just really what it's all about for me. And when I come in contact with people, I don't know if they've seen my videos, or if they're, you know, or there's a new friend request, and then what are they going to think about you know, my content that I put out there, and that I live my life out loud, and that I'm evolving out loud, and that I, you know, that I'm I don't know, I hope that in myself, and that I'm a motivator, that I'm just motivating people to, like, you know, to be out, just to be out and open, to be confident with that, because I've had a lot of struggles in my life, and I've come through a lot of things and a lot of challenges, just like every single person, I believe, on this planet, regardless of whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever culture. We all go through certain things, and I'm feel very privileged to be living like in Europe and living in Holland, where, you know, I have freedom of speech, and I have freedom in my life, that I can continue to peel the onion, as you'd say, and start to recognize, you know, who I am, and who I am behind, you know, this game of life, and so I hope that I'm a motivator, and if I'm not, I'm not. So, you know, and by doing these videos, it's just really, you know, really an incredible situation, a credible thing. And you know, as being on YouTube, there's an incredible community of support, and also on Facebook, I've found some really amazing friends, and friends, I could call them friends virtually. I've never met them before, and it's so interesting how those relationships are so important to me, and you know, and also it's just really mostly it's just such a positive thing for me to be doing these. So I'm just turning on the video this morning and just talking off my head, and what I was saying just a little bit ago is that sometimes, you know, like lately, like sometimes in my mind, I can become very defensive and very angry with the conditioning that I've experienced, or the brainwashing, or kind of I don't know, like experiences of life that have created this kind of personality or this character. And a lot of people would think that I'm very open and outrageous and really being himself and everything. And that for sure is totally developing, and it will probably never stop, because I just want that in my life. And so I create this here. I create this this possibility, these videos, these sharing are such potential for me to grow, and it's just, I've created this whole thing for myself, and just trust that I trust myself, and I you know, to each his own. And it's really there's such potential in this, and I share that with you, and I feel very grateful that I have this relationship to myself, and that I'm sharing, and that is as authentic as it can be. And being all good and okay with that, because, you know, in life, like, you can you know, how do you express yourself? Like, how can you express yourself on many situations? And, you know, I could walk down the street with my wig and my recent, you know, found hobby, and just love that, and makeup, and, you know, and appear to do that, and to feel the vulnerability, and to feel judged, or to feel like, you know, people don't do that, or whatever. So, like, in daily life, you know, there's so much that you can do, I think, you know. But here, it's like I could do it at home or wherever I am, and I can just actually just let myself be free, and feel the vulnerability when I click upload, and allow myself to feel that, you know, whatever judgment. But I can just, I think where I want to get to right now in my mind is that we have these mental, our thoughts, by me observing myself, my thoughts can arise, and something can become true, if I like true, however I'm thinking about it. And I feel like the whole world is judging me, or the whole world can, you know, like thinks that I'm too outrageous or crazy, or all that kind of thing. And I realize, you know, by talking to my partner and sharing these things, is that I realize that a lot of things are in your head. You know, most of the things are created in your head, and that you can feel that something becomes true in the respect that everybody's looking at you and judging you, and all of that kind of thing. And not necessarily that I've gotten any kind of attacks from anybody. It's just more or less the illusion of the fear that is created because I am open and vulnerable. And I just want to say that because I'm curious about, like, what your mental construct in a moment, like whatever your mentality in the moment is not final. and that we can make it final within our minds. We can believe our heads and our egoistic thoughts that, you know, that are negative or positive. And I think this is a wonderful and beautiful thing to share, because we believe so much the negative until we recognize it. And that's what I do. I recognize that by my channel, and I can let go really super fast, and I can feel the vulnerability, and then it passes, and then I feel really strong, and I feel really certainly strong by doing this. And I advise you all, or anybody who's watching this, to do this. My God, to do this every day, and to share, and just and be however you're being. You know, sometimes I feel really hyper, and I feel really scattered, and you know, I don't really want to show people that, and then I think, why not? Like, you know, why not? Just, that's how you are, and that's who you are, and you know, and sometimes I don't feel so intelligent, and whatever that means, or I feel stupid, or you know, this kind of thing. And I know that I talk a lot about it because I think it's just something that is there. And you know, there's these extreme thoughts about that arise in my mind, with they're just thoughts. They're like not even part of me. I don't even know where these thoughts come from. They're just coming from a past, because you know, I really wonderfully recognize that this moment is fresh, and all of the thinking that I have has obviously come from the past. And I'm very curious about that, and my existence on relating to these thoughts, and having the chance to realize, and the opportunity to realize how much value I give to thoughts, and how much freedom there is in the value of the choice that you can make when you relate to certain thoughts. Because the thoughts are coming from where are they coming from? I find that just so incredibly liberating, because I can choose how much value. And sometimes it's more, you know, I feel defensive, and sometimes I feel I mean, most often than not, I feel very liberated and free and strong in myself, a strong individual, by recognizing the charade that the mind comes up with, and that mental constructs, as I say 100 million times, but I don't care, is that they're just not, they're not permanent. Nothing is permanent, and everything just goes by. You know, it's one of the most incredible things, and that's what I want to share with you today, and realize that, you know, we all have an opportunity to believe in the thoughts that have come, and they're mostly, I would say, coming from a circumstantial, obviously they're coming from a past. It is not the now, and they're coming from a past experience that has created this personality, and this personality has learned to manipulate its environment, and to be part of that, kind of, like I said, like a charade, to be part of the play, and to get what you want, and when you're conscious of all of it, because a lot of it is so subconscious, that we believe in our own heads, and we believe especially the negative somehow, to protect ourselves, the need to protect ourselves, which a lot of people do because they have private lives, and I'm right in my life right now, just very interested in what my private life is, and how I'm living out loud, and I see myself as a project. It's just as a project, as a person who's feeling the vulnerability to go forward, and to own everything, and to play, and to share, and, you know, because however people perceive you, or even how you perceive yourself, is not final, because it can change. And sometimes we just all want to be seen in the most beautiful light, and that's, you know, because there's nothing, you know, bad about a person, and there's nothing, you know, wrong, or our choices, or how we choose to live our lives. And, you know, like I've said before, we're all the spectrum of the rainbow. Like, we're everything, all down to the dark, you know, spectrum of the rainbow. I don't even know that metaphor, I can use that. But in the sense that we're the dark and the light, you know, and there are parts of ourselves that we're perhaps embarrassed or ashamed about. And I'm really so interested in actually not being embarrassed and not being ashamed of myself, and just by observing myself like 24/7, because I am in that time. We can do that. And that's what I want to share, because I can 24/7 be aware of myself, because that is where I am, and I realize the consciousness, and I realize the freedom in that, and it's my birthright, and it's my life. And I share because I want to maybe inspire you to also realize that the suffering is an option. It is an option, and we don't have to suffer. Yeah, and I think, you know, like in so many ways. And what does that mean? You know, like slowly I look at everything, and on a daily experience, and as I put myself out there, and with everything, with my work and with my person, and I'm always respectful that this suffering has been, and it's optional. And a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for that, but that's okay, because, you know, suffering is a payoff. Like, for a lot of people, like, they loved to suffer because they like to blame and shame and feel shame and feel those emotions, because they are, and we do have those emotions that we try to run away from. But by allowing them and seeing them and looking at them, and I like to say shining light on them, they just change. Like, everything changes, and nobody is really against you. And a friend of mine the other day said, what a pity, what a waste life for people to set and be judging you on a daily basis. What a horrible existence. What a miserable existence that is. And, you know, I can be guilty of that in the past with myself, by judging people and thinking that, you know, but that was also interesting for me, because I think that I just didn't, I don't know, I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware of the gossiping that I was doing, or, you know, and that it was detrimental to my growth, or, I don't know, like, I mean, everything just changes when you start to observe yourself, and you start to live authentically, and, you know, and that, that you realize that loving all of it, all that is the meaning of life. And it's the, you know, it's the lotus coming from, you know, it's the lotus flower being born from the muddy water, or the shit, or whatever. It's just an incredible thing. So I want to share that with you today, and just realize, you know, that when you watch my videos, like, sometimes I just am, you know, and it's maybe perhaps I feel a little feeling of defense, as one does, and I'm working through all of that, and I'm sharing that with you, that every opportunity is just, every thought has weight or not has weight, and we can change those things, and we can live free and open and expressive and creative, and with everything that we do, even washing the dishes, it can be a creative experience, and be grateful for all of it. They're cleaning here, raking leaves here. Anyway, I hope you got something from this, and thank you for watching, and keep spreading love, keep spreading joy, and just realize that we're like a project. It's really a project, and I appreciate it, and I love it, and I love everyone. Yeah, I just do. Thank you for listening to this, if you got this far, and I will see you when I see you. Much love.